Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Manufacturing Alliance podcast. We are live at PTXPO. I'm getting real close to Rich. You can see that social distancing is over, and we are all together once again at PTXPO. It's awesome. There are a ton of booths here, and we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, this is the first time since I think IMTS we did live shows, and
MTS,
at NPE, where you
American
and I
Bowl.
first met, we did our first NPE live show together.
In 2015.
Yeah.
2015. Yeah,
It
it's
was
been
good.
a couple of
You need
days
a- oh, you
ago.
need a microphone.
I'll talk. Yeah, that was in 2015.
Yeah, 2015. So that was a little while ago. We've been doing this for a little while.
Yeah, a couple of words have come out of our mouths.
Yeah. But you brought guests with you today. Why don't you introduce yourself and the guests, and then we'll go from there.
So my name is Rich Oles. I'm the president and CEO of Alba Enterprises. This is John Bozzelli, and if you don't know John, you've been living under a rock someplace for the last couple of decades. John owns IM Solutions, and he will commit to offering you a significant emotional experience when you go to one of his training courses.
Significant emotional
Yes,
experience?
it's on his bio. It's awesome.
You won't forget it. You won't forget the seminar,
Well,
but you
good.
also make money on your when you go home and use the principles.
So you learn emotion and you make money.
Oh yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit more.
I do training in injection molding, and it's basic stuff, but it's really simple or relatively simple. You can apply it immediately, and I have clients that see a 20 to 50% improvement in profitability.
Wow. After one
Come
class
back.
a
We
month.
even had a guy stop 5 minutes ago and says, "Went to your seminar 12 years ago, never left me."
Really?
Yes.
That's
So
impressive.
it's a
See-
significant emotional experience. They do not forget.
See, that's not something that everybody can say. I've been to trainings and you walk out the door and you're like, no, I'm never going to use that again. But you're saying people 15 years later, they're coming back saying,
This is
you know,
the raw basics that'll get you where you want to go on molding
just on molding.
and processing.
Okay.
Well, you have to know the steel, and you have to have the machine that works right. That's this guy here,
Yep.
Bill Hartwick. He knows how to fix machines. We're sort of like a Three Musketeers,
Yeah,
all right? Three Musketeers. So I do processing. He does fixing and repair of machines. He does molds and baby plast,
Yeah,
right?
baby
We do turnkey molding stuff.
Small parts, delicate, high tolerance.
We work with large parts too, but we use John's scientific molding principles for training all of our clients.
Works well.
Yeah. So Bill, tell us a little bit about you.
Bill Hartwick, Filter Specialties. Been in business probably for about 16 years on my own now.
Good.
Had a lot of good background from Angle.
Okay.
I did my apprenticeship there.
Yeah. They have beautiful machines.
And they are.
Mm.
And you know, you get a chance to work with the Austrians and Germans who all work along with that. Man, you get a tough upbringing.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't come back if you don't have an answer.
No.
So, and that's what I was brought up in. So that's what sometimes keeps me at a machine at 1:30 at night, still fixing it, because I expect to give what I would expect to receive from somebody. So,
Getting it right the first time around. That's important.
That's an important thing that people don't always get is getting it right the first time. You know, we
Promise a lot and don't deliver.
we hear a lot of times people are like, I just need it back now. I need to make parts right now. And it's like, but it's not right yet. Like, you're going to run parts for a day. It's going to break again. Then you're going to be down another week. Can we just have an extra day to do this the right way?
you're 100%.
Well,
And it's always 3 a.m. in the morning when it breaks down when you don't fix it right.
Right.
Then you get the call anyway. So
And the right parts. He knows what parts to put the machine together properly. The right pumps, right controller, things like that. All very important. Lots available out there. Lots of promises, but you need somebody to have experience of what's what.
each segment is actually important. You know, everything that Rich does for tool design and hot runners, mold flow analysis, John with his training, how to use the equipment, my side, how to maintain that piece of equipment. You got to have it all come together. If you don't look after it, it ain't going to work for you. One part is going to fail.
That's just biblical. I mean, not everybody could be a hand or a foot. You need every part of the body in order to be the body. In order to get a good part, you need every part of the body. to
We
get a
are
good
missing
part.
one area, and that is piece part design. And in today's world, people need to spend more time on piece part design
Yeah,
before we start making the mold and whatnot. Lots to be saved there.
I agree with you.
So we do a lot with DFM with our clients. sense, based on what John's saying right here. We say common sense is uncommon. And so we try to spend a lot of time with people who may lack experience but have education, which is a great foundation. And so we do a lot of mentoring with people, and then we lean on their education for the end result of the product design. And when it all comes together, it takes a community to raise a kid. That part's your kid. When it all comes together with our partner companies like Alliance and Cruise Analysis and so on, the results are incredible.
And I think what you said is it makes total sense. Common sense is dead. Like, people need to stop thinking that other people are using common sense when it comes to
100%.
solutions.
100%.
There's lots of different ways to approach it, but there's some basics you got to do first, and then you go on. And you put the 4 categories together: piece part design, resin selection and handling, tool design and construction, and processing. That's the way, and you intermix and you review all of these, because nobody knows absolutely everything. We're learning something here at the show. I mean, it's an enormous number of picky little details to make those parts come out, and then you deal with fixing a lot of it.
We do, yeah. Well, listen, we kind of like when things break.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. It's a benefit when things break to us. You know, in a perfect world, nothing would break, but then we just have to find a new job, and that's fine. You know, I always say I'm the guy that doesn't know anything. I'm new to the industry. My father started the company 41 years ago. I did polishing for a little while. I came back. I'm the prodigal son. So every time I get together with Rich or you guys or anybody, I'm constantly trying to learn. And so one of the things I've learned is how important the process actually is, because there's so much tweaking that has to go into that to get the parts right.
I get people to stop the tweaking.
Yeah.
We said it.
Yes.
We said it. You said certain things. Once you know how you made a good part, these are the parameters you document, and then you always hit them. It's not the dozens that everybody likes. You keep it down to, I follow Deming's strategy. There's a certain minimum number. Too many you can't follow. Certain number you can follow. And I've got mine. I give them to you. Try to teach you how to set them up. And then you have the machine that can monitor them today's days. You just follow that. And when one goes off, it tells you what went off and gives you a hint, if you know, how to fix it.
So when you're doing the initial run, right, for
First
sampling or
time,
get things going,
right.
is that where you're doing more of the tweaking, or you say put in these settings?
No,
let's run into this.
No, I find the settings that make the good
That's
part.
what I was
Right.
talking about.
I
with
do.
tweaking.
And my scientific basing, that's why I call it scientific. It's a scientific experiment to find what the number is going to be and how you inspect. So I can't predict it. I've given up that. I can show you that mold flow doesn't always show you what the right thing is.
Right.
But if you do the experiments, you'll come up with very close. With time, yes, you'll find it finesse a little bit, but you got the basics down.
Now, again, this is the guy that knows nothing. I would agree that once you have those numbers figured out and you're making good parts, if you start to not make good parts, you should not do tweaking. You should figure out what's going on with your tool.
Look at the data. I have six parameters I want you to watch on the screen, which all the machines will give you now, and one of those will tell you what happened.
Okay.
And then from that, you have to have the sense. Well, for example, you're running, peak pressure at transfer starts going up. That means your viscosity is changing and it's getting stiffer. Well, most likely your pack and hold pressure now is not enough to pack it out properly.
Okay.
So once you wait until it stops trending, don't take parts while anything's trending. Once it stops, okay, it's higher. So now how much higher do I have to raise my hold pressure to make the part the right size? That you adjust by weight or whatever, keep adding hold pressure until the weight's where it's supposed to be. And then you go. But that's simple.
Yeah.
It's not turn the heats up and then wait a half an hour and waste time and spend more energy and then go around in a circle until the next shift shows up.
But that's what happens, right?
And
most of the time, everybody feels the pressure to produce parts right there. So they forget all the basics. We say the blocking and tackling is missed.
Russian.
And then they start. The biggest issue we hear about, we do a lot of consulting stuff too at Alba, is, well, I'm turning up the temperature to make the viscosity lower so it flows better. What they don't realize is they're actually degrading the resident carbon, and there's some fixed parameters.
And it's not the best way to drop viscosity. That's come to my seminar today. You're going to see a much quicker and easier way, instantaneous, to drop the viscosity. Orders of magnitude, not a little bit by temperature. It's really quite interesting to understand how polymers flow.
What you said makes sense, though. When you have a problem, you set the machine up like John says.
Yeah.
You get all those parameters dialed in. You have good mold, good material, all the peripherals working around the machine. Something goes wrong, that's when you got to take your time to analyze.
Yes.
Don't rush to make that adjustment.
Right.
Take a look at everything. Simple as a thermolator being shut off. Maybe somebody tripped over a cord, flipped a circuit breaker, or water temperatures going up. Things change.
But what you do know is your process didn't change. Nobody dialed in the buttons. So that's not what you should be doing. You should take a scientific approach and say, okay, if something went wrong, that means there's something wrong with the tool. Something in here is not performing properly as of
Or the
10
machine.
o'clock last night.
Yeah, or the machine or the hot
And
runner.
look at the data, look at the values I tell you to watch. They will most likely, I'm going to say at least 90% of the time, give you a hint of what went wrong. Go
Faster
there
to respond
and
to
start.
get the machine
Right.
right.
It could be the pump could start failing, and then we need him to replace the pump. But you'll know that you can't generate the pressures you were before because you have the baseline.
Looked at the variables that John mentioned.
Right.
Well, the other thing that John teaches is you document the process. So when you have a problem, you go back to your paperwork, your process setup sheet, and then you look at your settings and make sure everything's correct, and then you start looking for troubleshooting. Again, blocking and tackling first. Check your voltage to the machine. If your power runner controller isn't working right, and you got 200 volts instead of 230. This stuff happens every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
What time is your presentation today?
We have 11 o'clock to 3 Musketeers.
11. Oh, I'm not 11 till 3. I was going to say, that's not a presentation. That's a seminar. What are you? The 3 Musketeers at 11 o'clock. is what we're doing.
Yeah, Tech Talk Deal.
Okay. So what are you guys excited about being back at a show? Bill, what are you excited about?
It's great to see the effort that's gone into this equipment. It's always nice to see the new technology that's out there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about. How to make a machine or a cell better. That's what I like. Now, currently, I'm getting into doing servo hydraulic pump retrofits, which I've been studying for a long time. It's not new. The machines all come with them now. They're either electric, servo hydraulic. But I always like to find the new technology that can be applied to older machines to bring them back to the condition that
And
John
save you
needs
a heck of a lot of
to
money,
the
energy.
process.
Yeah.
Save energy. That's
John, what are you looking forward to at the show?
The new stuff, but I really like processing, so I go to different machines, play around with the controllers, and see what I can pick apart and which do they have it right or do they still have it wrong.
So they love when you come over.
Oh, they start worrying when I start poking at the numbers,
Like,
playing around with the screen.
who is this guy?
Yeah, right,
Who brought him
exactly.
over here to start playing with our buttons and our machines? Rich, how about you? Now, this is rare for you. You've been stuck in your house for a long time. I mean, you used to be the man with the most frequent flyer miles ever.
Yeah, there was a lot of travel. I drove out to this show, so I put in over 1,000 miles the last 2 days to come here. For me, the show is about getting back together with a lot of people, but I'm actually meeting clients and suppliers here at the show to talk about projects. So this isn't about passing out business cards. It's about actually finally getting together. We're going to look at data and try to solve some real problems.
And I think all 3 of those things are reasons to be here. Looking at the new machines, trying to figure out what you need to do, scheduling appointments, meeting with customers. There's a plethora of things that this show is purposeful for. I was talking to Ryan Delahanty. He was saying was, listen, if you need a job, if you're somebody at home that's trying to figure out what industry to get into and you need a job, you should be in Rosemont today because every company here is hiring.
Quite literally.
Yes, every company here is hiring. You want to get a job? Walk up to somebody and say, hey, are you guys hiring? I'm going to guess they're going to say yes.
a good point.
For what position? I don't know. But like if I was a student or something, or just somebody that, you don't want to have a dead end job, this is the place to be.
This is the most dynamic industry to be in, for sure.
And it's not going anywhere.
Well, actually, it might even improve significantly with the Ukrainian war because we've learned that we need certain supplies, and you can't get them from other companies like chips. We need to be making chips. There's plastic in that. Plastic is a pretty big business.
It's one of those things that makes me laugh because forever people were trying to get rid of plastic, right? Like I'm not old, but I remember when you would go to the grocery store and they would say, is plastic okay because we're trying to save the trees? And now they're like, hey, is plastic or is paper okay? Because we don't want to use plastic. And it's that flip flop of what's most important right now.
It, a lot to do with perception.
Right.
John and I were talking about this last night. We were drinking from paper straws that have more polymer coating over paper, so it doesn't dissolve, than an actual plastic straw. So it has more polymer impact on a paper straw, at least the ones we were looking at last night.
And cups, plastic foam cups versus the cardboard cups. The cardboard does not hold water. Think about it. You got to coat the cardboard, and you have to coat it with more plastic than there is in the foam cup.
Yeah.
And not only that, folks, if you really wanted energy, instead of sorting, which is very difficult in plastics, it's why it's not being recycled as much, chop it up and burn it. It came from natural gas. You won't believe it, but it's true. I'm a chemist. It comes from natural gas.
So burn the plastic.
Burn. It'll burn. You can mix it in with coal at a temperature, and you actually can depolymerize it. And there's a guy, and I have a video where a guy in the Philippines is depolymerizing, hires people from the dump, gets plastic, puts it in a vat, depolymerizes it, makes kerosene and diesel fuel, and sells it for less than what they can ship it in from.
That's
Folks,
crazy.
you
Where do you take that?
That's crazy. Well,
That's not the popular perception.
right.
no, not
But
at
it
all.
should
Like
be.
I grew up in Scouts, and you would get yelled at if you threw a fork in the fire because it turns green, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool! The fire turned green." And
No.
now you're saying burn it.
Well, Rich is right. You have to burn it properly.
Yes.
Personally, I would like to see it tried. Try to replace 50% of the coal with this plastic scrap. Coal's got sulfur in it, inorganic compounds, metals, lots of pollution. Plastic will burn with no residue.
Well, you don't have to mine the plastic; it's already being used.
That's- And you don't have to sort it.
All right. So how do we make this happen? Listen,
Well, there's
we are four smart guys. Well, three smart guys, and I've got a small platform. But
and
you guys are smart, and I have a hunger.
yeah,
So
but we
how
can't
do
beat the
we-
government regulations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they want them certified before you're going to go anywhere with it. But
You
there
wanna
are
do it like
plastic
Canada or
plants.
something?
Plastic plants. There are plastic plants in some states have the waste plastic into fuel. I forget one. I got a source for that, but I can't remember it now.
Start it in Mexico. I don't know. Where are there not as many government regulations where we can
Philippines.
Yeah.
we can find somebody to go there. I don't want to go there, but we can find somebody to go there.
The point is that it needs to be investigated openly with the intention and the spirit of trying to solve the problem, not politicize it,
Yeah.
not make whoever's everybody has their own agenda, and just drop the agendas and try to solve a problem.
Get the data, compare them, and then go with what's best.
The data is key,
Yes.
Data is
and actually doing something with the data. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of people that they're really good at collecting data.
We're doing on time, folks.
She's got us at like 1 minute. They're good at collecting the data. They don't do anything with it. It just sits.
It's called data glut. Data glut.
Well, it's too much. And that's the same thing with a controller on a machine. There's too much there. I narrow it down so a human can focus on it.
I think people need to go to your talk in a couple minutes, in a half hour. It talks in a half hour where they can learn some of this information. And maybe that'll be emotional, and you'll have people walking out crying and happy and sad.
Oh, my seminars sometimes do get emotional.
They do get emotional. If you go to our website at albaent.com and you go to the media section, we promote John's seminars. I've got Bill's bio, John's bio there. We all work together.
And I don't pay them. Yeah.
So, this is because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
This is what
It makes their lives easier.
Well, and that's how good partnerships work out.
Yes.
Right. It's not about
Help
what are
one
you going to
another.
give me. It's about how can I help you so that we can grow together and we can make an impact on the industry and benefit all the people around us. So I just want to thank you guys for taking some time. I know you guys are all incredibly busy. While we were getting ready, people kept stopping, asking how you guys were doing, but you guys got to get out of here. So I appreciate your time. If you see these guys and they're on a mission, let them walk. Just follow them and then talk to them afterwards. But Bill, John, Rich, thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the show.
Thanks for
And
having us.
I look forward to working with you guys in some
Tony.
capacity down the line. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks.
All right.